Kenyan land is surrounded by beautiful landscapes. However, it is faced with a number of conservation challenges. In about 20 counties, the invasive Madenge plant has spread far and wide, affecting the livelihoods of communities. My name is Sada Hassan, and this week on Health Watch, we look at Baringo County, which is one of the affected counties. Along the acres of land in Baringo County, appealing and inviting green vegetation meets the eye. On top, canopies have formed, providing cool shade that comes in handy during the peak hours of the scorching sun from 11 a.m. However, this green vegetation is scientifically known as Prosopis juliflora and locally as the Madenge tree. It is a thorn that keeps on giving the residents of Baringo sleepless nights. Simon Choge, the Assistant Regional Director of Kefri Baringo, says the first tree seedling of the Madenge plant was brought in Kenya in 1948.
When it was first introduced, the good Prosopis was first brought into the country, and the species is Prosopis pallida. Now, Prosopis pallida is a good species. It does not spread. It grows very, very fast as well. It has a very good stem form. It produces very good wood that can be used for many products. So that is the first that was brought into the country in 1948. It was not until 1975 that another species very close to the pallida was also introduced. And how it was introduced, after this time, we don't know how it came, but there was so much confusion between the two species because they look alike. And so somebody came with some seed thinking that he was bringing the good Prosopis. But later on, it turned out that it was the wrong one, called Prosopis juliflora.
On hundreds of acres in Sabalani Ward, Baringo South, the plant has spread like wildfire from the villages to the local town. Farmers cry foul over what now seems to be a competition between man and plant.
It is highly invasive. It is very adapted, of course, just like the first Prosopis species, the Prosopis pallida. They are all adapted to dry environments in this country. And so it was introduced for purposes of controlling deserts and giving people products in terms of wood. It also has a very good fodder for animals. The fruits are very, very nutritious and very sweet, very palatable for animals.
Madenge plant, which is a legume, is known for many benefits. It can grow up to 15 meters in height with its thorns measuring up to 5 centimeters. It is deeply rooted and it can easily block roads and change channels of flow of rivers that feed into major lakes like Baringo and Bogoria. In the plains of Sabalani Ward, we are welcomed to the farm of Francis Olekipirich, whose land was infested with Madenge, and as a result, he had to devise means of dealing with it.
I started this project in the year 2009. And actually what made me to start the project, so that I had seen that my cows or sheep, particularly cows and sheep, they had no grass to feed on because of the infestation of Prosopis juliflora. Because this kind, the type of Prosopis we have here is Prosopis juliflora. So, through the knowledge that I gained from from seminars and workshops held at Kefri, Marigat, so I decided now to start that project of actually establishing pasture for my animals, because I had seen that my cows and sheep had no grass to feed on.
In order for Madenge to spread so fast, a trigger had to be in place.
The challenge came after El Nino rainfall of 1997 and 1998. Now, normally Prosopis grows very, very fast under conditions of high moisture content. So when we had El Nino rains for the first time in 1998, we had a lot of growth of Prosopis juliflora, now the bad one. We've never had a lot of problem, early 70s when it was first introduced, until 1997, 1998. That's for the first time in Kenya where communities started complaining of Prosopis spread in the country.
Baringo County is largely a dry area with hot temperatures across the year. According to estimates by the United Nations, since 2000, the number of droughts has risen to 29%, and an estimated 55 million people globally are directly affected by drought every year. Stanley Kiptis, Baringo governor, says that some regions in the county have not received rainfall for about 8 months. The presence of such an invasive plant is not making things any easier.
Preservice has destroyed the mainstay of our people. This plant was introduced to us in 1980 in a manner that was going to address probably the environmental cover. Just a cover in order to reduce the dry part, because it was barren. The region was barren. Yes, it was a positive aspect, but as we speak now, no plant and no other crop will grow underneath a preservice. So the farmers there cannot get food any longer. They plant their maize crops. This weed, I don't understand why it germinates very fast. It has now covered a large area. In fact, three wards, from a small region to 3 wards. Even the flow of water in the rivers is affected by preservice.
With the sun scorching and temperatures above 32 degrees Celsius and falling below 17 degrees at night, the water tables are slowly changing, causing water scarcity. According to the World Wildlife Fund, drought is increasing food insecurity and causing biodiversity as well as livestock losses. According to Yusuf Wato, the manager of biodiversity research and innovation at World Wildlife Fund, and I quote, "During drought, water is scarce and this affects people, livestock and wildlife who have to go long distances to look for water. The situation is worse for water-dependent species such as elephants in drought-stricken regions as they need to drink a lot of water daily. An adult elephant drinks 200 liters daily," end of quote. Madenge plant was thought to be a solution to some of the problems affecting residents in dry areas. Instead, it is contributing to conflict, lifetime injuries and losses. Speaking during the national celebrations to combat desertification and drought in Baringo County, Environment CS Keriako Tobiko addressed the issue.
This has become not just a livelihood issue, it has become a threat to national security.
According to the United Nations, land restoration helps biodiversity to recover, locking away atmospheric carbon and slowing climate change.
The government of Kenya now came in to address that problem of spread of prosopis. So we went around the country as a ministry and as KFRI and Kenya Forest Service to document the problems that people are saying and having in their environment. And yes, we found that it was actually true. They had lost a lot of pastures, lost a lot of grounds in many of the places where the species was growing.
More knowledge had to be gained in order to deal with the problem.
We've seen what others are doing in some of those countries, and so we've been able to get those technologies that others are doing elsewhere around the world and bring them here in Kenya as a part of research and development programs that we've been doing as we involve communities on then how to contain the problem of invasion. And what we've done here in Baringo is a case study for the country that I think we've been using Baringo as a case study for Kenya, because we did the first activities on management of prosopis working with communities in this particular county. And what we've done is that we've brought them together in a form of a farmer field school methodology. Right now, where we have this problem in Baringo is only one sub-county. This is Baringo South sub-county. And the area covered by prosopis in this sub-county is about 20,000 hectares. Is that huge? Not too big compared to other counties. A county like Turkana, for example, is probably 10 times that we have in Baringo. The same can be said about Tana River. The same can be said about Garissa, Isiolo, and Taita Taveta. So Baringo case is a bit small, but we want to use this case of Baringo as a learning case for the country, where we've brought communities to learn and see exactly how to manage the species through farmer field schools that I've mentioned. Now we brought the communities together and taught them exactly what to do. And management here is they have to thin out where there's so much gregarious prosopis that have invaded a big area, They get in there and thin it out, pluck it out completely in areas where they want to put pastures, remove them completely, cut and remove the stumps, and then put grass. Now, by putting grass, like you see in this environment where we are now, is that grass is able to prevent growth of new seed that germinates from the ground.
According to Ole Kiprich, the process of clearing madenge is quite tedious.
Started to clear the surface and even remove the stumps. Then I plowed the land, and then I broadcast the grass seeds. So that was before the rains, because we are not growing. We are not actually growing this grass by irrigation, but just through rainfed. So
RAE has been working with communities here to develop pastures. So they come in and subsidize the cultivation of the land. They also subsidize, I think, the seed. So the farmer does the other work of fencing the land and, of course, doing the preparations, removing prosopis out of it, and then preparing it, so that the tractor can get in. So Salabani location, probably in Baringo County, this is where most of the farmers, about 70%, now have total control of prosopis around their area.
Ole Kipirich says it requires a huge investment to eliminate the plant. In his case, it cost him more than 100,000 shillings to clear madenge shrubs and trees on his 12-acre farm, but he is reaping some benefits.
This is now the area I've planted this grass, and of course, per year I usually harvest up to 300 kgs, 300 kilograms, and if you multiply 300 kgs by 450, you can see I do get a reasonable amount of money for family use, to buy food, to buy clothing, and also to pay school fees.
Other negative effects of the madenge plant include
the fruits that it has, that produces quite a lot, and it is very sugary. So when animals feed on those fruits, they have problems of teeth decay because of sugar.
The Ministry of Environment is now offering hope to communities affected by the invasive plant.
Tuko tayari mara moja kuondoa hiyo embargo ya prosopis, lakini kuna sheria ambazo ni lazima zifuatwe. Sheria ambazo serikali imetunga na imesema ya kwamba kwanza kila county government lazima iandikishe Prosopis Charcoal Producers Association.
With countries seeking solutions to deal with climate change, it is important to have solutions that will not harm the livelihoods of communities nor reduce the efforts done so far. Saad Hassan, KTN News for Health Watch.